Okay.
Ready, Carlos.
Okay. Good good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all who is here in this energy talk, energy solution talk. Unfortunately, today Luis Carlos and Roddy are not going to be present, but we have a special guest here. It's Joanna Walshap, and we are going to talk about general recommendation for oil and gas industry new students, new graduates, early career. So, welcome, Joanna. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine, thank you. How is Bogota?
It's good. Today is sunny. It was sunny in the morning, but it's getting cloudy right now. But it's it's Bogota. So if
Yeah.
you don't like the weather, just wait a little bit.
Well, it sounds like Oklahoma.
I know as well. So today we have a special topic because there are a lot of people, new students, new graduates, who are concerned about the situation, political situation, about the jobs opportunity in the different countries, and what are the skills, the set of the skills, soft and technical skills that they may have to develop a good career in this shopping environment, in this new environment related with energy transition. So you have been for a while in the industry, in the academic arenas, Joanna. So what do you think about these new skills and previous skills that the new students and new graduates needs to develop in this environment of energy transition?
Well, let me maybe start not with a new skill. It's the basic skill, and it's because when I'm doing my talks, recruiting students, graduate students, is the last question the students ask, and it's just the language. Believe it or not, that's the last thing sometimes students think about. So the second language, or English in this case, is one of the most important skills for any graduate student. I mean, trying to do a graduate degree in the United States, of course, and it takes time. So when planning this, that's the first consideration, in my opinion. Of course, regarding the energy transition, there are many skills, and I remember, and I think it was one of the deans here at OU saying that the basic, for instance, knowledge that the engineers have, just talking about petroleum engineers, it's fundamental, even for this energy transition. The engineering skill, not petroleum engineers, the engineering skills will help them tremendously with the new energy resources that we have to tap now. So don't forget that those skills, they have it, they learn it in their countries, and are fundamental to this energy transition.
That you say is very important. So something that we need to consider first is to have the ability to learn a second language. Is good for us for Spanish, Latin. If we consider to get like a career in this industry, if we want to apply for a master or PhD degree, as well, of course. And but with your experience, how is that process? To apply. If you have planned to study a master or a PhD degree in US, how is that process? How long take? What are the first step that you need to take to get like that goal, final goal?
Well, it's a process that I would say starts by looking at the website of the school where they are planning to apply, and going through the a profile of each faculty member that is in that school, and select the professor, one or two or three professors that they would like to work with, and know them as much as they can through their papers, LinkedIn, conferences, so they are really very knowledgeable about what they are doing research. And with your good English skills, write to them, try to know them, because that's, I think, the first step to start applying. So you have a connection already at the university where you want to apply. That's been my experience. I mean, those students that have successfully known the professor, sometimes when they, I mean, before the pandemic, of course, when I was sending professors to Latin America, the students could talk to them in person and take the courses. So that connection, that personal connection with the professor, was fundamental in their application process because they knew them. The other way is for those undergraduate students that want to take advantage of the exchange programs, so they can come, for instance, at OU for a semester and take courses. So they not only improve their English, but they make the connection with several professors, and their career opportunities really will open up. And the other way is through the J1 research internships that also students can do, because not OU doesn't have cooperation agreements with all the universities in the world, you know. But this J1 internship program doesn't require any agreement with any university. It's a relationship between the professor and the student. Again, you need to know the professor and write to that person and express your interest in doing a research that he is doing. And there is a process, there is a form, and they can come, students can come between 1 month and 12 months to do a research. So once the students have that experience doing a research with a professor, so most of the time, if not 100%, the professor wants to continue with that student, because now they have the opportunity to work together for some time and know each other. And when they apply, I mean, the professor usually asks the student to come back and be a master or PhD student in their research group. So those are the most important things that I will recommend. And as you can see, I mean, to be able to communicate with the professor, you need good English.
That's good. That's good. I forgot to many of our audience know that you were for a long period the director of the Energy Institute of America in the University of Oklahoma. These talks are sponsored by the Ronnie K. Ernie Center for Energy Solutions. So please tell us a little bit more about this center and what's the role right now that you have in this center.
Yeah, well, I work at the Energy Institute of the Americas since it was started in 1995 until my retirement in 2020. So for around 25 years. And the EIA, as we call it, emerged or was incorporated into the Ronnie Irani Center for Energy Solutions. So now that I'm retired, I'm back just part-time as a consultant, helping the center connect with all these contacts that we have through so many years with the Energy Institute of the America. So we have basically three areas. One is the professional development. So we have a director for that, which is in charge of all the training, and not just in Latin America, but we are doing this all over the world, including the United States, of course. And we have this other part of the center's responsibilities is to provide opportunities to our students to do research with local companies. We call them externships. So they have this practical research before they graduate. And of course, engagement with the stakeholders, so they know what the center is doing to provide opportunities for all in the energy. So I'm here very happy to help the center succeed in and continue providing these opportunities for all.
So it was like a newborn and a bigger now center, the Energy for Solution. It was before the Energy of America. That's my
Uh,
impression.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's
it has.
with a broader scope.
Uh,
Chart.
correct, exactly. Yeah, it's not limited to Latin America, although we are continuing uh, teaching in Spanish and provided training in Spanish, or sending professors. Well, by Zoom right now, as you know, it's all via Zoom, and the training in. That we are providing to Latin America, but we are expanding. We have taught some courses in Africa, and right now we are focusing in a special topic, which is ESG. And by the way, next week we start our second cohort, which is very important. So in this new era, we have to have new skills, and that's the topic of our conversation. And this is another area that it's very important for any professional to know.
That's good. I think we can show the next slide, Luis, please. As Joanna mentioned, we want to discuss with Joanna here one of the good skills, technical skills, and also non-technical skills that, in my opinion, and Joanna's, and also our colleagues here in these talks, we should develop to get like a success in this a changing environment right now. So that you see on the left, but by the way, this is from the American Geoscience Institute. And that you see here is a series of technical skills on the left and non-technical skills to the right, on the right, that show in yellow the student preparation indicated by the faculty and students. Okay, that they think that they have it after completed a study degree. Uh, and the blue one shows like the importance of that skill in the professional current positions. So that you see here, at least in the technical skills, is that sometimes you have like some preparation, some skills, some knowledge that exceeds the probably the importance that they have or use in the professional life. But there are others that, in opinion of the people that get this um, these questions, they consider that they don't have like enough preparation for for the professional life. You see, for example, we don't have like a good size, or it's bigger the size of the circle for the preparation of geological investigation. Also, all the topics related with the health, safety, and regulation, for example. Um, but that this is very curious to me is to check there on the right the non-technical skills that we have like a, generally speaking, bigger size in the current position, the skill for the current position that we needed with the technique, with the skills that we develop, we create or nurture on the schools. What do you think about that, Joanna? That we are normally good preparation in technical skills, but not good enough for non-technical skills.
It is true. Sometimes those are the ones that they're called soft skills, and those are very, very important too. And one of them is leadership too. Leadership, it's a skill that you also have to bring into the plate here, to build a good set of skills to move forward in these new challenges that the industry is presenting to us. Absolutely. Project management. I remember our dear friend who is not here. Economic analysis is also another those of those skills that sometimes are not taught in the university as they should be to evaluate projects.
Entrepreneurial is a small one there.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
fiscal management. What about the relationship and the importance of that, and also interdisciplinary, topics, skills as well.
Yeah. That reminds me of a few years ago. We used to have several petroleum engineer students that had a undergraduate degree in petroleum engineer that did masters in geology and geophysics here at OU. And that was fascinating because, I mean, they got these different sets of skills too that provided greater opportunities when they finish at the job market. So I'm sure those I know those former students are doing great in the industry. So that is also important. As you know, because you studied here at OU, the Milburn College of Earth and Energy was established to integrate the School of Petroleum Engineering and Geological Engineering with geoscience, and it started in 2006. So it's been a while now, and that was the goal, that the students during their career will take courses. The geologists and geophysics in petroleum engineering and vice versa. So they have these different skills in and courses, so they will succeed better outside
That's
in the profession.
that's absolutely needed. Yeah, and that's right. I remember from my personal experience that when I was completing my master, uh, but that time it was mandatory for me as a
Mhm.
master geology student to take at least two classes with the code, classes or subjects in geophysics and two in petroleum engineering. And in many classes, we have to do like a series of teamwork, integrating in, because of course it was a mix between geophysicists and petroleum engineers. Many of the classes was the work that we had to do. It was integrating different disciplines. It was fantastic because it was like bringing the life,
Yeah,
the normal life to the school,
exactly.
to the classes. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember those contests. I mean, Petro Bowl and the Imperial Barrel, right? Those also are very important for the students because they have to bring all the knowledge, not just their particular set of knowledge in their career, but all the things that will interact to really have a good final product, which are important. So, to any student that is listening, get involved with those contests because they will provide also good skills. And the networking is another good skill. I mean, the relationship, as you mentioned before, it's so important to start your network of colleagues in now it's easy with all these facilities with internet and LinkedIn and all this. Network is so important to succeed in your profession.
That's right. And actually, the school, some of the students and professor won a prize in in a new contest, in a new. It was about geothermal or something like that. Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah. We have a professor in petroleum engineer, Dr. Salehi, that is developing. I mean, using the skills and the resources of petroleum engineer to explore and research on geothermal. And an alum donated a well one or two, in a nearby town near Norman, Oklahoma, and they are working on this research, and it's just fantastic. I think you can expand a little bit more on that, but these are these skills that are being applied to these new energies that we need to tap into now.
So it is fantastic. It is because one of the thing we want to highlight here is that the skill that you develop in the school is not just applying to oil and gas. It could be transversal to many disciplines. And probably it's something that I want to show in the next slide as well. When you think in geology, petroleum geology, well, it could be an option, but there are others. Um, in the next slide, Luis, please. You see like a different disciplines, different subject or areas of the knowledge where you can apply your your knowledge as a geoscience. No, you see here policy, writing, education, medicine, science. So in all these um, topics, you can develop. You can develop your career, and it's important to get like all these skills that we mentioned before to get a success. What about
Absolutely.
what about the petroleum engineers? So unfortunately, we don't have like a
Yeah,
or
our
uh,
expert.
yeah, but we have a list that he sent us, which is important to mention as well. He's saying, let me take a note, my notes here.
Yeah,
Uh,
he mentioned the evaluation, the economic evaluation of projects. It's something that he always emphasized. The data analysis of the information,
Very
statistics,
important. Yeah.
statistics. Um, um, what all? Legal, the legal part, local and regional uh, laws. It are also important to know.
It is very, very key, in my opinion, because when we have like a new laws, a new legislation, new application of this energy transition, new laws, it's important as professional to know what is the trends, where are the opportunities to get a new job. If previously, for example, we have opportunities to get like a fiscal or control in the production of the gas or oil. Now we may have like a good opportunities in CCU and carbon sequestration, for example. So that's important to get that. Luis also mentioned about the economic, the
Mm.
importance to get an economic evaluation as critical in my opinion as well. Um, but what about geophysics? I think the next slide show us about some skills important in about geophysics. No, the next one, please. Yeah, that one, and that's important because it's from a recent paper published by Maria Capella and others that mentioned and show how the different skills of the normally have a geophysicist could be integrated in the mapping of the an application to the SDGs. What are the SDGs and why those are important, Joanna, in your opinions? If there are possibilities to know about SDG in the training on the related with the center with the classes courses.
Well, I'm sure they are. Although I'm not an expert on these 17 Sustainable Development Goals, they all make a lot of sense. Uh, and we have, I mean, engineers and geologists, geoscientists, geophysicists have already several skills that can be used towards improving these goals. So it is important to know them, uh, and soon we will have one expert talking to us on precisely on these goals, sustainable development goals, in one of these energy talks. I don't consider myself an expert, so I don't want to to say something that that I don't know.
No, that's but as you mentioned, it's important to know then, to know the different approaches or potential application that we have with our skills, with technical skill, to develop solutions to get that target of the SDGs on future. Okay, I think it's
Absolutely.
very important. And the previous slide is also from AGI, and that shows a series of skills related with geoscience as well, because I'm has a geoscience, uh, uh, geoscience. The next one, please, Luis. The previous one. Um, is it's important because it depends about your abilities, your skill, and also your interest could be different. So talking about um, the career has a geoscience, you may have like a different options. You may got like the option to get like a data science, for example. You want to teach in an elementary school, could be an option as well. If you want to be geophysics or geological engineer, so this one is a um, good charts created and compiled by the American Design Institute that show like the different skills and the path that you should follow or may follow if you want to develop that skills. And it's also a good source for example, CV templates, CV examples, CV builders that may help to get like your next opportunities, your next job or application. So what else?
I remember, Carlos, that you mentioned the other day that you had done a evaluation or inquiry uh, during the pandemic about
Oh yeah,
the skills that are required or by geologists. Was geologists or
yeah, I remember
geoscientists?
yeah, that's for probably for our uh, audience in Colombia or in Latin America. I think it's the last slide, Luis. There. Uh, by the time it was in the middle of the pandemic, and I sent a question to my friends, to my network. Uh,
Mm.
what are that kind of knowledge topics or skills that you want to develop if you had the chance to get back to the school? It was my question.
Okay.
um, and you see in this figure where different uh, um, subjects here, but it's in Spanish. Está en español, and the size of the word depend about the frequency it was repeated in that survey. So as you see, many people think that geophysics or geofísica, the captura de carbono, uh, coding,
Oh,
coding,
coding. Okay.
it was very popular in that survey, that people say that we don't have like enough coding skill developed during the classes, and that's I agree with that. uh, Desarrollo sostenible, yeah, we mentioned it
Yeah.
before with the
Exactly.
geología estructural, investments, inversiones. So this is a good collection of here words in Spanish that according with the people who have experience now, uh, I mean, if they have the chance to get back to the school, they will like it to get developed or in school in classes.
Yeah. Well, now, as you know, the data analytics is one of the most hot careers. Here at OU, we have a combination of petroleum engineer and data analytics, and some professors in petroleum engineering and teaching at the courses to these students in data analytics department. So that's another skill that is very important for the new graduates to acquire: artificial intelligence and all this new knowledge to tackle the data, right? Data analytics.
Okay, so Joanna, now what are the next classes or opportunities of training that have the center in the future, in the near future, that you can share with us?
Well, the one that is coming up next week, is the ESG certificate, and it's a 2 weeks certificate. The first week is online, but the second week is in person in Oklahoma City, and we have important people. We have partnered with Canary Project on this, and it's the second time we do it, and it was very successful last year. So it's a tremendous certificate, and I don't know. I think there are a few spots left because it's almost full. It's a small class. It's a cohort. So if you can do it, I mean, the audience that is listening will be fantastic. There are a few spots left. And then we have in October, we have a couple of courses. One precisely is machine learning and economic analysis by Luis Carlos Rodriguez. And the second one is, I forgot the name of the course. It's by Dr. Samuel Amarkanki. He's a Peruvian professor, and it's on artificial lift, but something very specific, and both are in English. So you will see these advertisements on LinkedIn.
Very good. I'm curious. I want to be part of all of them. But specifically the first one that you mentioned about a Project Canary is very, very interesting, because they have a special monitoring of the methane and CO2 controlling emissions during the operation. That's very, very interesting. What else? No, tú sabes, Joana, que tenemos una audiencia también aquí en español, en Latinoamérica. Yo soy uno de los, yo no sé cuántos, ahorita nos contarán, estudiantes latinoamericanos que finalmente pudieron llegar a OU a hacer su maestría o su doctorado, y pues te agradezco mucho por esta oportunidad y por lo que pudiste ayudarnos para lograr ese sueño. Entonces, para aquella audiencia en español que nos está escuchando y los nuevos estudiantes, cuéntanos, ¿aún hay oportunidades de estudiar en OU en Estados Unidos? ¿Cómo es el proceso?
No, desde luego. Muchas gracias por tus palabras. Sí, todavía hay oportunidades. Y ahorita en este momento les podría decir una muy especial, y es que debido a la pandemia, por lo menos en nuestro college, no están requiriendo el examen del GRE. ¿Te imaginas? No lo están requiriendo.
Yo lo sufrí.
Tú lo sufriste. Sí, muchos lo sufrieron. Entonces, este es el momento de aplicar, porque realmente solo se necesita, bueno, obviamente tener buenas calificaciones, pero se necesita un buen inglés, ¿no? El TOEFL para ser admitido. Y con eso que les contaba al comienzo, de tratar de conocer a algunos profesores y obtener un assistantship, que es la ayuda realmente para poder financiarse los estudios, realmente todavía así es como todo el mundo lo hace. Y hay profesores nuevos, inclusive que pues ni conozco, que están en estos temas de transición energética, nuevos temas, y tienen fondos y tienen posiciones para asistentes, Entonces es el momento de aplicar, es realmente el momento de aplicar en el college, en cualquiera de estas áreas para poder tener estos nuevos conocimientos y enfrentarnos a la transición energética que se nos viene, sin desconocer, como todos saben, que ingeniería de petróleo, el petróleo no se va a acabar y se va a necesitar para la transición energética. Entonces se necesita de todas maneras los tradicionales, ¿no? Los geólogos, geofísicos y ingenieros de petróleo tradicionales se van a seguir necesitando también, ¿no? Ya más adelante, si se quiere, se puede hacer una charla con más detalles para cómo aplicar a la universidad, pero lo básico es un inglés, un TOEFL de 79 puntos, 3 cartas de recomendación, contactarse con un profesor con el que quieran trabajar, ser persistentes y realmente cumplir esos sueños que son muy importantes porque transforman las vidas y sí se puede, se puede. Aquí todos, ahorita hay más o menos 50, 60, en el caso de colombianos, estudiando sus maestrías y doctorados, también están llegando peruanos, venezolanos. Entonces, de Latinoamérica tenemos un grupo fuerte.
Fantástico, ¿no? La verdad que yo que tuve esa experiencia personal y profesional, la recomiendo 100%. Y OU y Norman como tal es un lugar fantástico para poder vivir, para poder estar, desarrollarse con una comunidad latina, colombiana bastante grande, bastante unida, activa, liderada por Johanna, entre otras cosas también, en muchas actividades. Entonces me alegra muchísimo que eso no ha terminado, no ha parado.
No, no.
Y de hecho crecen las oportunidades y aún hay muchos, como lo mencionaba Johanna, muchos profesores nuevos en OU, muchos con estas habilidades en temas de geotermia, transición energética, que realmente vale la pena explorar. Vale la pena explorar.
Sí. No, por eso vuelvo e insisto, métanse a la página web, miren los perfiles de los profesores, traten de conocerlos, mándenles mensajes diplomáticamente, a veces no contestan, pero apliquen porque a veces profesores quieren saber de los buenos estudiantes, pero una vez que están admitidos, entonces hay que aplicar, porque sin aplicar pues no se va a poder lograr esa meta. Entonces sí los animo a que sigan con ese sueño, realizando este sueño de unos posgrados que son muy importantes para avanzar y para el mundo, porque necesitamos gente preparada que nos ayude a proteger el ambiente, pero necesitamos la energía, ¿no?
Así es, Johanna. Muchísimas gracias de nuevo por estar con nosotros. Muy, muy feliz de verte, de poder volver a hablar, de conocer que aún tenemos esas oportunidades, muchos acá en Latinoamérica, estudiantes para muchos jóvenes ir a OU y prepararse. Finalmente, ¿alguna cosa que quieras decir?
No, creo que ya lo hemos dicho todo. Síganos por el canal de YouTube del Ron Irani Center. Vamos a seguir trayendo temas muy interesantes. De los ODS, los Objetivos de Desarrollo Sostenible, va a ser muy, muy importante porque ahí se pueden enfocar en estas áreas del futuro realmente. Síganos en ese canal y si necesitan algún consejo ya personal, me pueden escribir al correo electrónico y yo les guiaré en el proceso de admisión, como he venido haciendo por muchos años, con mucho gusto.
Bueno, nuevamente, Johanna, muchísimas gracias a todos quienes nos escuchan y nos ven a través de los diferentes medios. Gracias por acompañarnos. Próximamente tendremos otra charla muy interesante aquí en nuestros Energy Talks. Y un abrazo, una feliz mañana, feliz tarde o feliz noche, donde quiera que se encuentren.
Muchas gracias, Carlos, y saludos a todos.
Okay.
Bye, everybody.